She was 6 months pregnant when she disappeared without a trace. No goodbyes, no clues, just vanished into thin air. For years, everyone thought she was lost forever. A heartbreaking mystery, buried deep in silence. But what if the truth was even more shocking? What if the life she was carrying had something no one expected? Something that would change everything. The CEO of one of the biggest tech companies in the city, a man known for his sharp mind and icy demeanor, never thought he'd be caught in the middle of this long-forgotten story. He was busy running his empire, making decisions that affected thousands, when suddenly a little genius hacker kid came into his world. A kid so talented, so unbelievably skilled, that it shook the foundation of everything the CEO believed about power and control. No one knew where this kid came from, but everyone was talking about the magic he seemed to create with just a few taps on a keyboard. Rumors started swirling that this child wasn't just any prodigy. There was something extraordinary about him, something tied to a past shadowed by loss and secrets. And when the CEO finally laid eyes on the boy, everything changed. What the CEO didn't realize was that this brilliant kid held the key to a mystery he'd spent years trying to solve. The sudden disappearance of the pregnant woman who had once meant everything to him. Questions flooded his mind. How did this boy come to be? Why was he so hidden from the world? And most importantly, could this child be the daughter he thought he had lost? The tension built as the CEO struggled to keep his emotions in check while navigating the complex world of corporate politics and hidden agendas. Everyone around him had their own interests, their own secrets, and no one was willing to help him find the truth. But the boy's presence disrupted the carefully controlled world the CEO had built, forcing him to confront memories he had buried deep inside. As the boy's skills caught the attention of powerful enemies and allies alike, the stakes grew higher. The CEO found himself drawn into a dangerous game where every move could either bring him closer to the truth or destroy everything he had fought for. And in the middle of it all was the silent hope that the woman he lost so long ago might somehow still be alive, and that the boy could lead him to her. The story is filled with unexpected twists, emotional struggles, and the kind of suspense that keeps you guessing until the very end. Who is this genius hacker kid? What is his connection to the missing pregnant woman? And what will happen when the CEO uncovers the secrets hidden beneath the surface? This is just the beginning of a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about family, trust, and the power of hope. Stay with us, because the truth is coming, and it's more unbelievable than anyone could have imagined. For years, the CEO, Li Wei, had buried the pain of her disappearance beneath layers of work and ambition. He had told himself it was better to move on, to focus on building his tech empire, Whisperway, rather than chasing ghosts. But seeing the boy, so young yet so sharp, with eyes that held a familiar spark, stirred something he hadn't felt in a long time. This wasn't just any child. This was a living piece of the past he thought he'd lost forever. The boy's name was Zhao Zicheng. Nobody knew much about him, except that he was a hacker, unlike any other, capable of breaking through firewalls and decrypting codes with ease. Rumors spread through the tech world that this kid was a prodigy, a miracle in the making. But what no one realized was that Zhao carried the weight of secrets much heavier than his years. He had grown up without knowing his parents, or at least the truth about them. Meanwhile, whispers of Zhao's talents caught the attention of many, including those who saw him as a threat. Powerful rivals within the tech industry didn't want Whisperway to rise any higher, and Zhao's existence was like a wild card thrown onto their carefully dealt hands. They wanted control, and they were willing to go to dangerous lengths to get it. The boy, unknowingly, was caught in the middle of a game much bigger than himself. Li Wei's world was about to unravel. As he started digging, he uncovered the tangled web that led back to Zhao's mother, Chen Mengjie, the woman who vanished 6 years ago when she was pregnant. Mengjie wasn't just a figure from his past. She was someone who had risked everything for love and for a dream. She had fought to protect Zhao from forces that wanted to exploit his gift, disappearing to keep him safe. At the same time, Zhao struggled with his own identity. Raised by a quiet guardian who refused to talk about his origins, he often felt like a puzzle missing its final piece. Why was his past so hidden? What was so dangerous that the truth had to be buried? And why did strangers in suits sometimes appear too interested in him? These questions haunted him, but every attempt to find answers only led to more questions. Behind the scenes, Chen Mengjie was fighting her own battle. She had sacrificed everything to keep Zhao out of reach from ruthless enemies. Her disappearance was no accident. It was a shield. She had chosen isolation over safety, hoping to buy time until the world was ready for Zhao's talents. But now, with whispers of the boy's hacking skills reaching Li Wei and others, the past was clawing its way back. The tension between Li Wei and Mengjie was complicated. They were once partners, tied by love and a shared vision, but circumstances had torn them apart. Old wounds, misunderstandings, and pride kept them distant, even as the fate of their child intertwined their paths once again. Li Wei's desire to protect Zhao clashed with Mengjie's fierce independence and mistrust, creating a fragile alliance full of unspoken fears and hopes. Outside their personal struggles, the tech industry's power plays escalated. Corporate, spies, shadowy investors, and cybercriminals all lurked in the background, ready to strike. Zhao's hacking abilities became the prize everyone wanted. The boy had the power to change the future of AI and technology. But with that power came danger. The question was, would Zhao be able to survive long enough to fulfill his potential? Or would the forces hunting him succeed in tearing his world apart? As Li Wei moved closer to uncovering the truth, every step was met with resistance. Trusted. Allies turned suspicious, and enemies grew bolder. The lines between friend and foe blurred. Meanwhile, Zhao faced his own battles, navigating a world where trust was scarce, and every move could be a trap. The boy's innocence was fading fast, replaced by the harsh realities of a life he never asked for. The story's heartbeat was now a race against time. Could Li Wei and Mengjie reunite to protect their son? Could Zhao unlock the mysteries of his past without losing himself? And what hidden threats lay waiting in the shadows, ready to strike when least expected? With every twist and turn, the stakes grew higher. The fate of a family, a company, and a young genius hung in the balance. The past wasn't just history. It was a ticking clock, counting down to a moment that could either destroy them all or bring a new beginning. And just when it seemed the pieces might finally come together, a new danger emerged, one no one saw coming. The calm before the storm was over, and the true battle was about to begin. Would Zhao's gift be his salvation or his undoing? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain, nothing would ever be the same again. Just when Li Wei thought he was finally close to protecting Zhao and bringing his family back together, everything spiraled out of control. One night, a cyber attack unlike any other hit Whisper Way. The hackers weren't just after company secrets. They wanted Zhao. It was clear now. The people chasing him would stop at nothing. Li Wei realized the danger was far bigger than he imagined. It wasn't just corporate rivalry anymore. It was personal. Zhao's guardian, sensing the threat, urged him to disappear once again, but Zhao refused. For the first time, he wanted answers, not hiding. He confronted his mother, Meng Jie, demanding the truth about his past and why so many people wanted him. Meng Jie revealed the hardest truth. Zhao's gift wasn't just rare talent, it was the key to technology that could change the world and disrupt powerful interests. She had sacrificed everything to keep him safe because the world wasn't ready for what he could do. In the midst of chaos, Li Wei and Meng Jie found a fragile peace. Their shared love for Zhao helped them put aside old wounds. They realized that only together could they protect their son and face the dangers ahead. Li Wei used his resources and connections to build a shield around Zhao, while Meng Jie focused on helping Zhao understand his abilities and prepare for the challenges. The climax came during a high-stakes moment when the main antagonist launched a final move to capture Zhao during a technology conference. Zhao, with newfound confidence and the support of his parents, outsmarted the attackers. Using his hacking skills, he exposed their plans to the world and secured Whisper Wei's future. The truth about his identity also came out, shocking everyone, but finally ending the years of mystery. With the threat defeated, Zhao began to live openly as the genius hacker everyone talked about. Li Wei and Meng Jie, now united, started rebuilding their family and business together. The story closed on a hopeful note. No matter the struggles, love and truth can break even the toughest barriers. The journey of Zhao Zicheng showed how talent and courage could shine even in the darkest times. It reminded everyone watching that family isn't just about blood, but about trust, sacrifice, and standing together against all odds. And as Zhao looked toward the future, one thing was clear. This was just the beginning of a new chapter, full of promise and endless possibilities.